I want to give you some idea of what the homework is this week. That'll help you come alongside your kids and support them in the best way possible. I have one big assignment for the most part, and that relates to all of Scripture, really. As we're looking at Scripture, they're going to see that from the very beginning, people couldn't get it right. They couldn't obey God. And it becomes this big, looming problem throughout all of history, this problem of sin. And how are we going to deal with it? We have an infinitely wonderful God who wants to dwell with us, who wants to be at home with us, but he can't. And that's because of our sin. And I don't want the kids just to see it through all of history, through everyone else. I want them to see it in their own lives as well. So here's how we're going to do it. Each child will get a trash bag or whatever you want. Maybe a laundry bag, like a mesh laundry bag, or even a laundry basket. And they're going to take it and they're going to keep it with them all day, every day. The only reason I think this could work is most of you are home all the time, and it would be kind of convenient more than if they were going to school or somewhere else. You can use your own judgment on where they take it if you do go out, but the idea of carrying it with them all day from Monday through Friday is to give them a deep impression of how weighty sin is and what a big deal it is. So the idea is, as we look at what sin actually is through the week, your child will begin to recognize it more in their own life. And as they do, as they recognize, oh, I just talked back to my mom, they're going to take one piece of laundry and put it in their bag. And they might think, oh, I told my mom that I finished that homework assignment and I didn't. Ooh, another piece of laundry into the bag. And, oh, I just punched my sister. Another piece of laundry in the bag. And by the end of the week, that bag that they're taking with them as they go outside to play, as they come inside and sit down on the table, wherever they go, as they go to bed at night, that bag is going to get pretty big. And it's going to be more and more inconvenient to carry around. In my introduction video, I said this was going to be a fun activity, and it was live, so I couldn't change it. I don't actually think it's going to be super fun, but I do think it will leave an impression on your kids. No one can understand how important Jesus' death and resurrection is if they don't understand the weight of their own sin. And so I hope that this could give your kids a kind of visual representation of just how big that problem is. And then at the end of the week, here's something really fun you can help your kids with if they need the help. At the end of the week, when we talk about Jesus' death, paying for our sin, and his resurrection, conquering the power of sin and the power of death, they're going to take this big old bag and they're going to put it in the washing machine. And then they're going to wash it and move it to the dryer and take it out of the dryer. And kind of use the wash and dryer as just a visual representation of Christ's death washing, enabling us to be washed clean. And then as they empty up that dryer and all the clean laundry is out of there, there's no more dirty laundry, I hope they'll think of the empty tomb. So this is my illustration homework this week that maybe won't be super fun, but hopefully will leave a lasting impression, something your kids can remember for a really long time, and drive home the real significance of just how important the death and resurrection of Christ is. And one more note, it would probably be smart for you to do it with them. You don't have to, but it's a good idea just to be an example for your kids if you participate with them in this process. And I will encourage the children, this is not a time for kids to be pointing out sins in other people. And it's not a time for people to be pointing fingers or things like that. It's a time for you to think about your own sin, try to recognize it more. And in addition, as you're focusing on, as kids are thinking about the negative, they're going to need a lot more encouragement about the positives. So make sure you're focusing on positive reinforcement as much as you can this week, noticing the good things they do and pointing it out. I think that will help in the overall process and not make this week just a bummer thinking about sin. All right. I hope this activity is meaningful.